Right now, there's a bottle sitting in your bathroom cabinet that costs $1, and it can do 13 things to your car that most mechanics will never tell you about. It cleans parts they charge you hundreds to replace. It fixes problems you didn't even know you had. And the craziest part? You can buy it at any drugstore, any grocery store, any Walmart in America. It's hydrogen peroxide, the brown bottle, the one your grandma used to clean cuts when you were a kid. 99 cents at Walmart, $1.20 at CVS. And what I'm about to show you is going to change the way you take care of your car forever. I've been working on cars for 50 years up here in the mountains, and I still use this stuff every single week. Let's start with the one that's going to save you the most headaches. Winter morning. You walk outside. Your windshield is covered in a thick sheet of ice. You're already late. You sit there running the defroster for 15 minutes, burning gas, wasting time, scraping with that plastic tool that barely works. Or you buy one of those $12 de-icer sprays from AutoZone that run out in 3 uses. Here's what I do instead. I take a spray bottle, fill it with hydrogen peroxide, the regular 3% from the drugstore, and I spray it directly on the ice. The peroxide has a lower freezing point than water. It breaks the bond between the ice and the glass. The ice loosens up in seconds, not minutes. You wipe it off, you're done. You can also soak a cloth in peroxide the night before and lay it across the windshield. In the morning, pull it off, and there's no ice underneath. A $1 bottle lasts you the entire winter. Those commercial de-icers they sell at auto parts stores for $10, $12, $15 are doing the exact same thing with fancier chemicals. You don't need them. This next one is worth hundreds. If your headlights are yellow, hazy, cloudy, looking like they've been dipped in butter, your dealer is going to tell you that you need brand new headlight assemblies. On a 2019 Toyota Camry, that's $800 for the pair. On a Ford F-150, over $1,000. But here's the thing, your headlights aren't broken. They're oxidized. The UV coating on the outside of the polycarbonate lens has broken down from years of sun exposure, and all that haze is sitting on the surface. Hydrogen peroxide eats through oxidation. You get a bottle of hydrogen peroxide cream, the kind they sell at Sally Beauty for $6. It's usually labeled Volume 40, which means 12% concentration. You clean the headlight with glass cleaner. You paint the cream on thick with a brush. You wrap the headlight in cling wrap to keep it wet, and you park the car facing the sun. 2 hours later, you peel off the wrap, rinse it with water, and the headlight is clear. Crystal clear. The peroxide penetrated the oxidized layer and broke it down chemically. No sanding, no buffing, no kit, no dealership. $6 and a Saturday afternoon. If you want it to last, hit it with a UV clear coat spray after, $3 at Walmart. You just saved yourself $800 with a total investment of $9. I did this on my neighbor's 2017 Honda CR-V last summer. Her dealer quoted her $1,200 for new assemblies. I walked over with a brush, a bottle of cream, and some cling wrap. 2 hours later, she couldn't believe it was the same car. You get in your car, turn on the AC, and it smells like a wet basement. Like old socks. Like something crawled into your dashboard and died. That smell is mold. It's growing on your evaporator core, the component behind your dashboard that cools the air. It's dark in there, it's wet from condensation, and mold loves it. Your dealer will charge you $200 for an AC system cleaning that takes them about 20 minutes. Here's what you do for $1. Pop the hood, find the air intake ducts. They're usually right below the windshield on the passenger side. Pull out the cabin air filter. Take your spray bottle of 3% hydrogen peroxide and spray it generously into both air intake openings. Let it sit for an hour. The peroxide drips down through the ducts, hits the evaporator core, and kills the mold spores on contact. After an hour, put the cabin air filter back in, a new one. If yours is old, start the car, run the fan on low with the windows open for 15 minutes. The smell is gone. Not masked, not covered up with some pine tree air freshener. Gone. The mold is dead. Do this once a year, every spring, and you'll never have that problem again. Some old school truckers have been doing this for decades and never told anybody. Meanwhile, your dealership is charging you $200 to spray a can of Lysol into your vents and hand you the bill with a straight face. Bird droppings and tree sap are not just ugly, they are actively destroying your paint. Bird waste is acidic. If you leave it on your hood for a week in the summer heat, it will etch through your clear coat and leave a permanent mark that no amount of buffing will fix. Tree sap bonds to paint like epoxy. People try to scrub it off with dish soap and a sponge and end up scratching their finish. Hydrogen peroxide dissolves organic compounds. That's what bird droppings and tree sap are. Organic. Pour some 3% peroxide on a soft microfiber cloth, lay it over the stain, and let it sit for 5 minutes. The peroxide breaks down the proteins in the bird waste and dissolves the sticky compounds in the sap. When you lift the cloth, the stain comes with it. No scrubbing, no scratching, no risk to the clear coat. Just blot gently and rinse with water. I've used this on a black 2020 Chevy Silverado with tree sap spots all over the hood from parking under a maple tree. Every single spot came off without a trace. If your car is more than 5 or 6 years old, look at the plastic trim around the windows, the center console, the door panels. If those plastics were originally white or light gray, they're probably yellow now. That yellowing is caused by a chemical reaction between the UV light from the sun and a flame retardant called bromine that's mixed into the plastic during manufacturing. The dealer has no fix for this. Detailers charge $100 or more. Here's what the plastics restoration community has known for years. Hydrogen peroxide cream, that same volume 40 from Sally Beauty, reverses the reaction. You brush the cream onto the yellowed plastic, wrap it in cling wrap, and set it in direct sunlight for 4 to 6 hours. The UV light actually activates the peroxide and accelerates the de-yellowing process. When you unwrap it, the plastic looks factory new. White again. Clean. Like it just rolled off the line. This technique started with people restoring old video game consoles and vintage computers, and it works exactly the same on your car's interior plastics. The product is called Retro Bright in the restoration world, and the main ingredient is hydrogen peroxide. You can buy the commercial version for $30 online, or you can walk into Sally Beauty, buy the same active ingredient for $6 and do it yourself. Same chemical, same result, 5 times cheaper. You cut your hand-loading groceries. You spilled your morning coffee on the way to work. Your kid dropped a ketchup-covered nugget on the back seat. Those stains are sitting in your fabric upholstery right now, and every day they set deeper into the fibers. A professional interior detail costs $150 minimum. Hydrogen peroxide destroys organic stains. Mix 1 part 3% peroxide with 2 parts water in a spray bottle. Spray the stain, let it sit for 10 minutes. The peroxide breaks down the proteins in the blood, the tannins in the coffee, the dye in the ketchup. You'll see it bubble. That's the oxygen being released. That's the chemical reaction happening right in front of you. After 10 minutes, blot with a clean microfiber towel. Don't rub, blot. The stain lifts right out. For blood specifically, peroxide is the single best cleaner that exists. It reacts directly with hemoglobin and dissolves it on contact. That's why nurses have been using it for 100 years. One warning: on dark fabric, test a hidden spot first, underneath the seat or on the bottom edge, because peroxide is a mild bleaching agent at higher concentrations. At 3% diluted with water, you're safe on 90% of upholstery, but test it anyway. If you live anywhere south of Virginia, you know what love bug season is. You drive 200 miles on the highway and your front end looks like a crime scene. Bug guts baked onto paint by highway speed and summer heat. People buy bug remover sprays for $10, $12 a can. They scrub with sponges and leave swirl marks all over their bumper. Hydrogen peroxide dissolves bug splatter because bug guts are organic tissue, protein, fat, and acid. The peroxide breaks all of it down on a molecular level. Fill a spray bottle with straight 3% peroxide. Spray the front bumper, the hood, the grille, the windshield, anywhere you've got bugs. Let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. You'll see the residue start to foam and lift off the surface. Wipe with a wet microfiber cloth and the bugs come off clean. No scratching, no hard scrubbing, no specialty product. Old truck drivers in Florida have been keeping a spray bottle of peroxide in their cab for years. It works on paint, on glass, on plastic trim, on chrome, and it costs $1. If you're taking a road trip through Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, anywhere in the South during June, keep a bottle in your center console. You'll thank me at the next gas stop. You turn the key one morning and nothing happens. No crank, no start, nothing. You pop the hood and see that white crusty buildup all over your battery terminals. That's corrosion, and it's blocking the electrical connection between your battery and your car. Your roadside assistance charges you $100 to come out and fix it, or you get towed to a shop that charges you $200 for a new battery you didn't even need. The battery was fine, the connection was blocked. Hydrogen peroxide dissolves battery corrosion. Pour it directly on the terminals, let it sit for 30 seconds. The corrosion fizzes and dissolves. Wipe it clean with a rag, reconnect, and your car starts. Done. Compared to the baking soda method everyone talks about, peroxide is faster because it doesn't require mixing anything or scrubbing with a toothbrush. It does the work chemically. If you want to prevent it from coming back, put a thin layer of dielectric grease on the terminals after cleaning. You just saved yourself a tow, a shop visit, and an unnecessary battery replacement, all with a bottle from the dollar store. I've seen shops sell brand new batteries to people whose old battery had 2 years of life left in it. The battery wasn't dead, the connection was dirty. That's it. That's the whole problem. And they charge you $180 for a new Interstate when all you needed was a $1 bottle in 30 seconds. Steel wheels and exposed metal on older vehicles develop surface rust, especially if you live in the Rust Belt or anywhere near the coast where salt is in the air. That orange-brown discoloration on your rims isn't just ugly. It gets worse over time. Shops charge $50 to $100 per wheel for rust removal and repainting. Here's what you do first. Make a paste with hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and cream of tartar. Equal parts. Mix them in a bowl until it forms a thick paste. Apply it to the rusty areas with an old toothbrush. Let it sit for at least an hour. The peroxide oxidizes the rust, while the baking soda and cream of tartar act as a mild abrasive. After an hour, scrub with the toothbrush and rinse with water. The surface rust comes right off. For stubborn spots, reapply and give it another hour. This won't fix deep pitting or structural rust, nothing will accept replacement. But for surface oxidation and cosmetic rust, this paste works as well as any commercial rust converter at a fraction of the price. Those commercial rust removers they sell at AutoZone for $12–15 a bottle, most of them are phosphoric acid based. They work, but they're harsh. This paste is gentle enough that you won't damage the surrounding finish, and everything in it costs less than $2 combined. The headliner is the fabric on the ceiling of your car, and it stains easily. Nicotine if someone smoked in the car, coffee splash from a hard break, water stains from a leaky sunroof. The problem is, you can't scrub it. Headliner fabric is glued to foam backing, and if you rub it too hard, the glue separates and the fabric starts to sag and droop. That's a $500 reupholstery job. Hydrogen peroxide cleans headliner stains without aggressive scrubbing. Dampen a white microfiber towel with 3% peroxide. Gently dab the stain. Don't rub. Let the peroxide sit on the fabric for 2 to 3 minutes. Blot with a dry towel. The stain transfers from the headliner to your towel. For nicotine stains, which are the worst because they cover the entire ceiling in a yellowish film, you might need to do this 3 or 4 times across the whole surface. But it works without damaging the adhesive underneath or causing the fabric to separate. Nobody in any dealership is going to tell you this because a sagging headliner is a $500 repair ticket for them. And if you think nobody notices a stained headliner, try selling your car. The first thing a buyer does is look up. A clean ceiling tells them the car was taken care of. A stained one tells them to walk away. Your car smells bad. Not needs an air freshener bad, but deep, embedded bad. Dog smell. Spilled milk that soaked into the carpet 2 months ago. Fast food grease that's been cooking in the summer heat. Most people buy air fresheners or odor sprays that just layer a chemical scent on top of the real problem. The bacteria causing the smell are still alive in the carpet fibers and seat fabric, producing gases. That's what you're smelling. Hydrogen peroxide kills bacteria. Mix 3% peroxide with water at a 1-to-1 ratio. Put it in a spray bottle and mist the carpets, the floor mats, the seats, the trunk lining, everything. Open the windows and let it air dry for an hour. The peroxide kills the bacteria, and the oxygen it releases neutralizes the odor compounds. When you get back in, the car doesn't smell like lavender or ocean breeze covering up something rotten. It smells like nothing. Clean. That's the difference between masking and actually eliminating. Do this once a month if you have pets or kids, and your interior will never develop that permanent funk that kills your resale value. I had a buddy who was about to trade in his Chevy Traverse because the dog smell was so bad, nobody wanted to ride in it. I spent 30 minutes with a spray bottle and $1 worth of peroxide. The next day, his wife thought he'd paid for a professional detail. You've cleaned your windshield 3 times, and it still looks smeared at night. Oncoming headlights create a blinding glare across the glass. That's not dirt. It's an oil film. Road grime, exhaust residue, silicone from cheap windshield treatments, and off-gassing from your dashboard vinyl all build up an invisible oily layer on the inside and outside of the glass. Regular glass cleaner moves the film around but doesn't remove it. Hydrogen peroxide cuts through oil film because it's an oxidizer. It breaks down the organic compounds that soap just pushes around. Mix peroxide with distilled water at a 50-50 ratio. Spray it on the windshield, inside and out, and wipe with a clean microfiber towel. You'll see the brown residue come off on the towel. That's years of buildup coming out. After you clean it, the glass is perfectly transparent. Night driving visibility improves dramatically. No streaks, no glare, no film. Professional detailers charge $40 to $60 for a full glass treatment. You just did it with supplies that cost less than $2 total. And here's the thing most people don't realize. A dirty windshield doesn't just look bad. It's a safety hazard. That glare at night can blind you for a split second at highway speed. Clean glass is the difference between seeing that deer on the road and not seeing it until it's on your hood. This last one is the recipe that professional detailers don't want you making at home because it works as well as their $100 cleaning service. Take a spray bottle, fill it 1/3 with 3% hydrogen peroxide, 2/3 with warm water, and add 5 drops of lemon essential oil. Shake it up. That's your deep cleaner. The peroxide breaks down stains and kills bacteria. The lemon oil cuts through grease and sticky residue and leaves a clean scent. Spray it on your floor mats, your carpet, your cloth seats, anywhere that's dirty. Work it in with a stiff nylon brush. You can get one at any auto parts store for $5. Let it sit for 5 minutes, then blot with a dry towel or hit it with a shop vac if you have one. The combination pulls stains out of fibers that have been sitting there for years. Coffee rings, juice spills, mud, food, shoe dirt, all of it comes up. The lemon oil also acts as a degreaser, so oily stains from fast food and French fries that regular soap can't touch. This mixture dissolves them. Your entire interior can look like it was professionally detailed for less than $3 in supplies. I've done this on a 2016 Kia Sorento with 3 kids' car seats and 2 years of juice boxes ground into the carpet. It looked like a brand new vehicle when I was done. 13 tricks, 1 bottle, $1. Everything I just showed you. The dealers, the detailers, the mechanics, the auto parts stores, none of them are going to tell you about any of it. Because a bottle of hydrogen peroxide doesn't make anybody any money except you. They'd rather sell you a $60 detail spray, a $15 de-icer, a $200 battery, and a $1,200 set of headlights, all for problems that a $1 brown bottle from the drugstore can fix in your own driveway. Now you know. And they can't take that back.